Hello viewers, I am Dr. Sudarshan, Associate Professor from the Niketan Institute of Management, Tirupati. Today I will be talking about sales quota. What is a sales quota? A quota refers in general to an expected performance objective. This is generally in a context of a sales management subject. A quota refers to expected performance objective in the sense salespeople, when they do a lot of performance activities, their sales will be measured in terms of how they are performing or not. So in order to understand whether the sales guy is performing properly or not, quotas will be set. This is generally like a target number of sales being set to salespeople in order to measure whether their performance is on to the mark or not. So these quotas are tactical in nature, thus delivered from the sales force strategic objectives. These are the objectives which are generally set by the top management of any sales department, and based on these objectives, sales quotas will be shared. The targets will be set for various branches, various cities, various states, various nations, and even various sales people. And sales quotas are generally known as sales goals or targets set by a company for its marketing or sales units for a time period. These units are nothing but regions, branches, territories, salespeople, and the middlemen, which we also call intermediates. Generally, a company's sales budget is broken down to sales quotas for various marketing units. So, as defined by Philip Kotler, sales quota is a sales goal set for the product line, a company division, or a sales representative. It is primarily a managerial device for defining and stimulating sales efforts. There are various objectives of sales quotas, and however, all these objectives are combined and categorized into three. All three such very important objectives for sales quotas are to use quotas as performance standards or performance goals. So this is what generally is a major objective for any sales quota. Sales quotas, when they are defined, these sales quotas will be mentioned as benchmark for every salespeople to work with, which means it is like a sales goal for every representative or a sales goal for every branch or a territory to understand where they want to reach. Based on that, their sales goal can be divided further, maybe for a week targets, it can be a monthly target, it can be a daily target, and sometimes in a big organization it can be targeted by day and by hour. So these are used in another way to control the performance of the salespeople, as they can measure the performance of the salespeople every hour and every day. They will be checking it with whether they are working according to the quotas being set. Suppose if the salesperson has got a target of, the quota of 30 per month, on an average, a sales guy has to sell one product each in a day, which is mandatory. And if after 15 days in a month, if we found that a sales buyer have sold only 5 products and he is yet to go with 25 more products as per his target set, and this clearly is understandable to the top management that this guy's performance is not to the expectations, because he is supposed to sell 15 products by end of 15 days, but he is only sold only 5 products. So to motivate people by linking quotas to the compensation plan is another objective of the sales quotas. Most of the sales organizations, they are generally giving sales quota to salespeople, and they are linking the compensation benefits. Even though salary is being a fixed component, whatever the commission or whatever the incentive that the salespeople talk about, that will be purely based on how they perform. So in order to increase the performance, again, sales quotas are really working as a very important tools for any sales guy. And there are a lot of sales quota types, and some of those sales quota types are in front of you now at present. So there are 5 categories of sales quotas which can be categorized. Number 1 is sales volume quota, profit quotas, expense quotas, activity quotas, and quota combinations. This is anyhow not a very important category, but this is a combination of other 4. Sales volume quotas, these are the quotas or targets that is being given to a salesperson based on the number of sales they have to get. Whereas the second category, profit quota, says more than selling number of products, companies worried about revenue and profits. So as per this, the sales guy is not given target on number of sales, Rather, they are given targets on the profit being generated, maybe in terms of revenue that they generate. If you take a product worth 3,000, if you take a company like Xerox India Limited, they have a products worth 3,500, the project worth crores. So let us understand the sales guy who has sold a product worth 10 lakhs, and there is another sales guy who has sold 10 products worth 3,500 each. There the total revenue is only 35,000, and whereas the other sales guy have sold only one product worth 10 lakhs. So here revenue is playing a major role, and even the profit is giving up a good push for any sales company. So that is the reason those type of companies they go with profit quotas. Generally we also call as revenue quotas. And expense quotas are something, these are the quotas which are set to the salespeople based on what they sell. So whatever the expenses on sales the salespeople wanted, based on the expense, proportionately the quota will be assigned to salespeople. Let me say if I wanted to create a revenue of some 20,000 for me personally, for a sales guy personally, and he wanted to accordingly sell the products. If the sales guy wanted to earn 70,000, he has to sell to a proportionate number of sales he has to do. So that is how expense quota is set. And activity quota is something which is like more than selling a product, you need to do a lot of sales activities. It can be a number of sales calls that whether you get a sale or not, that is a different case, but you need to do a lot of activities like cold calling, maybe some exhibitions, maybe some road shows, maybe mobile retailing, all that you need to perform. And end of the day, company says the more number of activities you do, the more will be your number of sales. So companies will set activity quota rather than number of sales or profit quota. And the fourth category of quotas are quota combinations, which is not a separate entity, but all the four combinedly some companies give to salespeople. Salespeople wanted, the sales organizations wanted its salespeople or branches or maybe cities to combine sales volumes, profits, expense quotas and activity quotas. Part of each quota they may combine from all the four, or maybe from any of the two or any of the three. They'll combine and they'll make it a quota combination. So this is how sales quotas are performed. These are all the categories of sales quotas. That's all about sales quotas for today. Thank you very much for all your patience listening.